Alright, let's finish up these solutions for the graphing exponentials. Again, get your teacher, well, it's kind of an H chart, going. I'm going to just keep doing my same thing. Negative 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Just to get a feel kind of what both sides entail. And I'm going to take that and just got to plug it into each of my equation, to my function here. And you put it in for the x part. So I have to do negative 1/4 times 2 to the negative second power. Well, 2 to the negative second is 1/4, as in 1 over 2 squared. And so I got negative 1/4 times negative 1/4. Times 1/4, so it's going to be negative 1/16. Really small there. Negative 1/4 times 2 to the 0th power. 2 to the 0 is just 1, so this one's just going to be negative 1/4. So now we're going to do negative 1/4 times 2 to the first power. Well, 2 to the first is just 2. Times that by negative 1/4, you'll get negative 2/4, which is the same thing as negative 1/2. Now we got negative 1/4 times 2 squared. Well, 2 squared is 4. 1/4 of 4 is 1, and the negative goes with it, so that's going to be negative 1. And then when you get to 3, you're looking at negative 1/4 times 2 to the third. 2 to the third is 8, and 1/4 of 8 is 2, and you keep the negative with it. So these are my y values that go with my x's, and we're just going to apply each of those. Negative 2, negative 1/16. That's practically on my axis there. It's really low, really close to it. And then for 0, I have negative 1/4, also pretty close there. And then on my next one, I have 1 negative 1/2, which is a little bit higher up, well, farther away. And then I have 2 negative 1, which actually gives me a number that's fairly easy to draw. And then finally 3 negative 2 is going to give me this point here. Let's do another one, 4. If you do 2 to the 4th, you'll get 16. 1/4 of that is 4. The negative goes with it, so 4 goes to negative 4. And you can see rather quickly how my exponential is going to grow, and it's going to look something like that. And let's move on to 7. We got x and a y. The work in the middle, let's do the negative 2, 0, 1, 2, 3 again. And we're just going to take each of those numbers and put it there for the x. So we got 5 times 1/2 to the negative second power. Well, 1/2 to the negative second power is going to be the same thing as 2 to the second power, because that negative flips it upside down. And that's 4, so 5 times 4 is going to give me 20. And then my next one, 5 times 1/2 to the 0th power. 1/2 to the 0 power is just 1, so 5 times 1 gives me 5. You're going to have 5 times 1/2 to the first power. 1/2 to the first power is just 1/2. Times it by the 5. You will get 5 halves. So the 5 times the 1/2 to the first power is going to give you 5 over 2. And now you just got to put 2 in for the x, so 1/2 to the second power. 1/2 to the second power is 1/2 times 1/2, so that's 1/4. Times it by the 5 is going to give you 5/4. And then you're going to have 5 times 1/2 to the third power. 1/2 to the third power is 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/8. Times it by 5, you'll get 5/8. So there we go. And now we just need to graph all these points. Negative 2, 20 is actually right here at the top. And then we have 0, 5. And then 1, 5 halves. 5 halves is about 2.5, by the way. And then we have 2 5/4, which is a little bit over 1. About 1/4 over 1. And then the next one, 5/8, 3 5/8. 5/8 is a little bit past half. So there we go. Now we got these points here. We can draw our exponential. It's going to come down like so, just like that. And we got our last one. And we got to get an x, the y values that go with those x's. Yeah, let's move this one over a little bit. And I'm just going to use the same ones again. -2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Because again, when you do -3 times 1/2 to the negative second power, 1/2 to the negative second power is 2 squared, which is 4. -3 times 4 is -12. And then we got -3 times 1/2 to the 0th power. That's just going to be -3, because anything that is 0th power, aside from 0, is just going to be 1. We have -3 to the -3 times 1/2 to the first power. 1/2 to the first is just 1/2, so -3 over 2 is going to be our fraction there. And these ones are going to have practically the same denominators as the previous one. If you want to compare it, you can. You can get -3/4 and then -3/8, because it's -3 times 1/2 to the third, and that's 1/8. So now we got this. You're just going to graph each of these points. -2, -12, -2, -12, which is here. Whoops, that's a little bit big. Which is here. And then we have 0, -3, which is right there. And then 1, -3/2. And -3/2 is about -1.5. So that's right there-ish. And then we got 2, -3/4. And then we got 3, -3/8. So things are decreasing rather rapidly. Well, getting closer to x-axis rather rapidly there. And once you have that, you can draw your little exponential there. And that's hideous, man. It's kind of hard to draw on this thing. Anyway, so there we go. All done.